tired of breaking up fights because those kids just aren't sharing? Want your child to share so that they can keep friends? Well, first, I'll tell you why you should make the effort to teach the kids in your village to share, and then I'll tell you how to do it. I'm Jade, and this is my village. Sharing is very important so that kids can learn cooperation and how to compromise. And taking turns, dealing with disappointment, these are very important life skills. Think about the adults that you've met or still know that still aren't good at sharing. What? Do you want your kids to be like that? No, we want them to play well with others, as they say. And sharing, it's actually not something that we're born knowing how to do. And we, humans, take quite a while to learn it, unfortunately. But it's not easy giving up something that you have just to make someone else happy. This is something that we definitely need to be taught. But how to do it? Well, you can't just say, play nice, and then expect them to get along swimmingly with the other little tiny humans. No, they have to be shown the path to social skills. My favorite method is to always lead by example. I say that a lot. When you play with them, or if you see them watching you, always model the right way to share and the right way to take turns. This is how they learn not to yell or snatch, but to simply ask nicely.
Listen, can you give me a turn, please?
Could I have a turn, please? And a great way to do this is by playing with their toys together, playing games together. For example, when we build things with Legos, I'll have them give me a turn for adding a brick to the building, and then I'll wait until it's my turn again patiently and make sure that they do the same. You can also make trades. Do you want my yellow brick? Okay, I will trade you for one of your blue bricks. Or you can take turns throwing the ball, whatever it is they like to do. Just take turns doing it so they can learn this kind of patience and see what proper sharing looks like. But they also need to practice on their own. And when they're practicing and they do actually share, that's your opportunity to praise and celebrate. But not just, oh, good job. No, make it specific. You did great sharing your car with her. Look how happy you've made him by sharing your toy. You can also try asking for a bite of their snacks or offering yours. I take a bite, now you take a bite. Now it's your turn for a bite again. See? And when you see other people that did a great job at sharing, point it out to them as a great example. Wow, that was so nice of your brother to share his shovel with you. And be sure to prep them too before they go to play with other kids, the park library, or if they have a play date. But hide toys that you know they don't want to share before those friends come over. They can even pull out the toys that they specifically want to share and use those only. Set them up for success instead of failure. And that way you don't avoid play dates just because they might have a problem sharing, in your opinion. Instead, just sit with them and guide them and remind them to share and tell them how proud you are when they actually do share. But try your best not to intervene, just so that they can learn problem-solving skills on their own. Because we already know that you can share and solve problems, but that's because you've had practice. Something else I do is give them snacks in a bowl or in a plate, and this gives them a great opportunity to practice sharing all on their own because there's only one bowl or one plate. I know you might think I'm crazy for not counting out exactly 5 grapes for each child, but trust me, after the first time or two, your children will get used to this new method of working things out between themselves and sharing properly without needing you. What do you do, though, if they don't want to share? Well, always first acknowledge their feelings. I know it's hard to wait for your turn, or I can see that you really want to keep that toy. They tend to calm down a bit once they feel understood, and then you help them cope with what they're feeling. let's just do something else while you wait for your turn. It's not really necessary though to put a time limit on the turn. Often the child will just get busy playing with something else and forget that he was waiting for a turn in the first place. And eventually the other child will get bored with that toy and move on to another one anyway. But I recommend setting a time limit only to stop an argument, or if a child is clearly abusing his privilege at the time, like hogging the slide, move it, you got 60 seconds. Since normally they should wait until the other child is finished with their turn, we don't want to abuse the timer, because then it would just make kids mad instead of teaching them to really empathize with each other, which is ultimately what we want, right? And that's why we want to let kids set their own limits. I'll tell you that in my house, though, it's gotten to the point now where my 3-year-old asks Alexa to set a 3-minute timer if his brother wants the toy that he has, or if he wants the toy that his brother has. I don't even have to intervene. It's crazy, true story.
Set a timer for 3 minutes.
Most often, though, they'll just ask nicely with lots of sugar in their voice, and then the brother will just give up the toy. This seriously works. Sometimes I have to remind them to talk to the other child, though, instead of me. For example, Mommy, he won't share, and I really need that toy. And I'll say, well, did you nicely communicate that to him already? And then he'll say, Phoenix, could I have that, please? I really need it to finish my creation. And now that Phoenix understands this because he was told it, he'll just hand it over, and he'll usually help build the creation too. Magic! But I understand that sometimes we do need to intervene when a situation has already escalated. If the child that doesn't want to share is over 3 years old and fighting over a toy, then you can just take the toy away. But warn them first, so that way they have the opportunity to remedy that situation on their own. Then they'll figure out how to share so that the next time you won't take their toy away. They think about this. They know these things. And at this age, they know what sharing is, but they just don't want to have to do it all the time. If you do end up giving them a consequence, then follow up with giving them another chance to share something else. So this way, the consequence is balanced out with some positive praise as well. So you end it on a happy note. 2-year-olds, though, are definitely not great at sharing yet. They are just learning what emotions are and learning that the world doesn't revolve around them. So for them, the best strategy is to give them encouragement instead of consequences, since it's really hard for them to wait their turn. So be patient with this age group. But for every age, it's helpful to remind them how they felt when someone didn't share with them or when they didn't get a turn. This is something that they can easily understand, and it helps them to be more empathetic. And remember, that's our goal. Eventually, they will understand the golden rule of treating others as you want to be treated, but don't expect them to remember to consider what other people are thinking. That's just really hard for them at this age. So there's already a lot of things going on in that brain. We just have to keep reminding them that other people have feelings too, little 2-year-old. Remember that. Keep that in mind. And keep in mind that it's completely normal for kids to feel possessive of things. It's up to us to help them understand how to set that feeling aside for a moment in order to share. So look for opportunities during the day, every day, to give them that practice of taking turns and practice of sharing. Now you can be confident in your modeling, and remember to show calm and patience even when it's hard. These simple changes and tips will make a huge difference if you just give it a bit of time. So share this video with everyone that has kids that need to share, and share your own tips in the comments. Let me know if you have questions, what your ideas are, what your struggles are too. Now go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and watch my next video.